Hey students, this lesson is 8.4, volume of rectangular prisms. Now, if we're talking about a rectangular prism here, so let's see if I can draw a good rectangular prism here. There's a rectangle. Here's another rectangle. There's my rectangular prism. There's 3 dimensions here. It's a 3-dimensional shape, and we have the dimensions of the length, the height, and the width. Okay, so if you want to find volume of a 3D rectangular prism, it's length times height times width, and that gives you the volume. Okay, so if we were to go, okay, well, the length of this is, let's say the length is 8. The height, let's say the height is 4. And the width is 5. I would go 8 times 4 times 5. And it doesn't matter what order you multiply these. Well, so I like 4 times 5 is 20, and then 20 times 8 is 160. And this is, let's say it was inches. Our units of measurement is inches. So it's inches. And because there's 3 numbers we're multiplying together, it would be cubed to the 3rd power. So we're going to practice this, finding the volume of rectangular prisms, and we're going to even introduce the concept of having some fractions when this happens. Okay, to begin with, we are going to be doing our bell work. And our first question is about surface area. And we should be experts on surface area now, or at least getting to be better at it. We, again, we are looking at this shape right here. And it turned into this shape. So we took this 3-dimensional triangular prism and changed it into this net. So we unfolded it. Now we can find the area of all of these different things here. I find it helpful to come through and go, okay, well, I know that this is 3. This is also 12 here. All of these are 12. And if I folded up that corner right there, these would be 4. Okay, so it looks like we have 4 rectangles that are the same. So I am going to go, what's the area of one of the rectangles? Well, 48. Because 12 times 4 is 48, base times height. And then I'm going to times it by 3. So 48 times 3 is 144. So I'm going to circle that because I need it. So I found 48, 48, and 48. That's what I found. Now I'm going to go and find the area of the triangle, and that's base times height divided by 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6. So this is 6. And this is 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So 144 plus 12 is 6, 5, 156 centimeters squared. There's my final answer on that one. Okay, moving on to number 2. It wants us to simplify this expression. So we are going to, of course, follow order of operations. We're going to go 3 times 4 is 12x. 3 times 7 is 21, and we still have that 5x out here being added. So remember, we can combine like terms. So that's 17x plus 21. We cannot go any further because there's nothing that can be simplified there. The x's can't go with the regular numbers, the regular coefficient, or the regular constants. So that is the answer. All right, write greater than or less than to make each statement true. So let's move through these quickly. Negative 6, is it bigger or smaller than negative 12? Well, negative 6 is bigger. 17 is bigger than negative 3. 0 is bigger than negative 22. Negative 23 is bigger than negative 56. Then we have 14 is bigger than negative 92. We have the negative 52 is bigger than negative 89. Negative 21 is bigger than negative 23. Negative 43 is bigger. 22 is bigger than 20, or 2 is bigger than 22, and 12 is bigger than negative 45. So working through this is a little bit quick, but we will start talking about integers at the end of this week, actually on Thursday. So tomorrow. So anyway, that's kind of where we're going, and hopefully this bell work made sense to you. Let's move on. Okay, in your journal, I want you to go to page 68. There's some blank pages there. And I want you to look at this blank page right here, and I want you to write what I'm going to write. I want you to write volume of rectangular prism. Then let's see how you are at, I misspelled rectangular. Let's see how good you are at drawing one of these rectangular prisms with me. So if you don't know how, that's how. You draw those two rectangles right next to each other. And then I want you to draw some lines connecting the edges or the corners. And then I want you to write this. Volume equals length times height times width. Then you can draw, let's see. So I want you to do that. Then I want you to do this. Let's have you draw a net. Well, no, I want you to just have the length, the height, and the width on that. All right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I kind of changed some things around here. What I would like you to do is I would like you to look at your journal page, that page 68, that we wrote down the formula for finding the volume of rectangular prisms. And I would like you to copy down what I'm going to have right here. So we're going to do this one first. So we're looking right here on your paper. And actually, so I can write well, I need it on this side of the page. So I'm just going to flip some things around here. And we are going to do this question right here. Now, do your best at trying to copy down what this looks like. So I'm going to go, okay, here is my rectangular prism. And I'm going to make it look like this. Okay, it's not the best, but you get the point. So we're going to go 5, 3, 15, and it's inches. So we're just copying down what it says here. Now, we are trying to find the volume of this rectangular prism. So we are going to be using volume equals length times height times width. And we know that the length is 15. The height is 5. And the width is 3. So we are going to use our calculators here, and we're just going to type in 15 times 5 times 3. I get 225. So I get 225 inches cubed. Okay? Now draw a little line right here to separate it, because now we're going to do this other problem. And the other problem is kind of working from the concept of, well, we know what the volume is, and now it wants us to figure out what one of the sides is. And we can use that by using that same formula. Again, we're going to draw this same little rectangular prism that we had before. So we're going to go like this, draw a rectangle, draw that. So we have that. Now we know that it's 3 inches. We don't know. This is a question mark inches. And this is 12 inches. We know that the volume equals 72. So if we're using that same formula of volume equals length times height times width, we can fill in 72 for the V because we know it. So 72 equals 3 times 12 times, and what do we call things in math if we don't know what they are? Well, that's a question mark, but we can also call it a variable. So we're just going to call it x. Now, watch this carefully. Are there any things that we can combine? Yes, we can combine 3 times 12, which is 36, and then we have times x, so 36x equals 72. Now that says times. Now I'm going to introduce you to the concept. This is an algebraic concept of inverse operations. So what is the opposite of 36 times x? It's 36 divided by. So we're going to take that 36 and divide it by itself. That gets rid of it, and it gives us x. What we do on one side of the equation, we have to do on the other side. So what is 72 divided by 36? 2. So we get x equals 2. So our question mark right here is 2 inches. There are a couple of problems like that on your assignment, so I needed to show you how to do that. It works every time if you just use the inverse operation. So, all right, let's move on to your assignment now and introduce you to a couple of things. Okay, guys, let's take a look at your assignment here. You can see that we're finding the volume, but there's some of these that have fractions. Don't let that confuse you. You're still using that same formula that we have been using. We're going to go volume equals length times height times width. And we're just going to plug things in. We have the length, so 5/6 times the height, 2/3, times the width, 1/2. Okay, so we're just going to multiply, and you can use your calculator here. We're going to go 5 times 2 times 1, and we get 10. And then we're going to go 6 times 3 times 2, and we get 36. Then we have to simplify, and 2 goes into 5, or 2 goes into 10 5 times, and it goes into 36 18 times. That is as far as it goes. So 5/18 meters cubed is our answer. So that's as hard as it gets right there. Okay, so you're going to do that on these questions. You're going to look at number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. That's it. We don't need you to do number 8 and number 9. So guys, give this assignment a shot. Again, remember, if you can't remember what to do, like on number 5 and number 4 and number 4, 5, and 6, remember in your notes I did something very, very similar to this. So you may have to look in your notes to see how to do this. Good luck, and we'll talk to you later.